All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to deconstruct a business model that's been making some serious waves. It's one of these agency-in-a-box ideas, and it claims to offer a super clear path for starting a business by plugging into a huge, booming industry. So, what's it really all about? Let's find out.
So, let's just cut right to the chase. What if you could launch a real, profitable business, but without needing any experience, without a garage full of inventory, without all the tech stuff that usually trips people up? That is the big, bold promise we're digging into today.
And it gets even better. The entire system is apparently built on these three massive claims. The whole idea is to tear down the biggest hurdles that stop most people from even starting. So we're talking no burning cash on ads, no gut-wrenching cold calls, and you definitely don't need to be some kind of tech genius. It's designed to be as plug-and-play as you can possibly get.
Okay, this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. On the left, you've got the old way, all the usual business headaches, managing inventory, dealing with shipping, and coughing up a ton of cash just to get started. And on the right, you see the promise of the QR agency model. No stock, completely hands-free fulfillment, and super low costs. It's positioned as a way leaner and smarter approach to business.
So, what's fueling this whole thing? What's the big opportunity here? Well, it all boils down to one thing: tapping into the absolutely massive explosion of QR codes.
Now, this is really interesting. The source material doesn't frame this as just some passing trend. No, it argues that the rise of QR codes is a fundamental, permanent shift in how companies do business. It's something they literally cannot afford to ignore, which of course creates a huge opening.
And the timing here is everything, right? I mean, think about it. Since 2020, businesses everywhere have been scrambling to connect their physical storefronts with their online world. They need that seamless bridge for their customers. And QR codes, they've become the #1 go-to tool for the job. That's created this huge built-in demand for exactly this kind of service.
Okay, so the opportunity is clearly there, but how does this agency-in-a-box actually work? What are the nuts and bolts? Let's break down the step-by-step blueprint of how you'd actually run this thing.
At its core, it's really a simple 3-step process. First, you create the digital part, the QR code itself, using some pretty straightforward tools. Then, and this is clever, you bundle that digital service with a physical product that businesses already know they need. Things like menus, flyers, business cards. And the final piece of the magic is you use a third party to do all the printing and shipping for you.
And this right here, this brings us to the absolute engine of the whole model: white label fulfillment. This is what makes that whole no inventory promise possible. Basically, you're the face of the agency, you land the client, but another company, a specialist, produces and ships the final product with your brand all over it. The source literally calls this the real secret to making it all work without the headaches.
Okay, so we know how it works. The next big question is, who are you actually selling to? And maybe more importantly, what does the money part of this equation really look like? Well, according to the source, your potential client list is huge. We're talking about almost any local business you can imagine. Restaurants that need QR menus, salons and spas, gyms, real estate agents who want interactive flyers, you name it. Basically, if a small business uses any kind of printed material, they're a potential customer. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
All right, let's talk profit. The model is built for high margins because you're essentially getting access to wholesale pricing on the back end. That means you get to set your own price for the client and just pocket the difference. And the best part, you get paid by the client up front, before you even have to place the order.
And to put some real numbers on it, the source gives an example just like this. You might have a product that costs you, say, $39 from your print partner, but you can turn around and sell that to the client for $149 or even more. The profit is just baked right in from the start. And apparently, reorders are where you make that easy, recurring money.
So what about that final piece of the puzzle? What does the system actually give you to make all this possible, especially if you're a complete beginner? Well, it's all positioned as this complete done-for-you package.
And this is a huge part of the appeal, right? This isn't just some course that teaches you a bunch of theory. The blueprint reportedly comes with a whole toolkit of professional documents: pitch scripts, pricing sheets, client forms, email templates, the whole shebang. The goal is to make sure that even a total newbie can look and sound like a pro from day one.
I mean, this quote from the source just sums it all up perfectly. It's all about getting the perks of selling real, physical products, things that clients actually understand and value, but using a modern system to just completely erase all the old-school logistical nightmares.
So after taking this whole thing apart, you're kind of left with a much bigger question. Are these super structured business-in-a-box models the future of how people start businesses? They for sure make it more accessible than ever before. It really makes you wonder what that means for the future of entrepreneurship. Definitely something to keep an eye on.